you like myself is probably a diehard sports fan in general. Me personally, I personally love basketball and football the most. So today, in this video, we're gonna do a breakdown of basically the rematch of the playoffs in the bubble. So we have the number one Denver Nuggets versus the Los Angeles Lakers versus, the winner of that will play the winner of the Boston Celtics, second seed, and Miami, number 8 seed. So let's kind of go over the fundamentals, what's going to be happening, and then we're going to go at the end and kind of talk about my prediction and what I would like to see. I'll have what I would like to see, well, two different scenarios, and then we'll go on what I know is likely going to happen. So the first one, we have Western Conference Finals, Denver Nuggets Lakers. ESPN BPI is they have Denver at 51%. Now Nuggets fans are probably going to lose their shit about that number for a little bit just because they're like, oh man, no, we're the number one seed. Why are you only giving us a 51% chance? I would be a little scared of the Lakers a bit because they've been playing super fucking hard. Let's see what AD has to say about Shock the World, yeah?
Around here,
after the
I
set,
keep
obviously.
things simple.
It's going to be a great series. You got two well-coached teams. They've been the number one seed in the West all year long, so we give them a lot of respect. And we come in with that series with a lot of respect for Denver and what they can accomplish and what they can do against us. And if we're not locked in, they'll put it to us. So I think it starts, Tuesday? Okay,
yeah.
So
We'll be there.
We'll take that. We'll take a couple days, but we will lock in on our assignments, and we understand what they possess. I know what they possess, and we'll be ready for it on Tuesday.
Anthony, one more for you. From 7th seed to the Western Conference Finals, just what has this team so hot right now?
Togetherness. You want to shock the world. Us starting 2-10, knowing that, trade deadline, we got better, added new pieces, and the way we were playing, guys came in motivated and want to win. I call it the end of bronze answer, but now a lot of guys have been in closeout games or in this position at all in the second round on our team. So, they're hungry, they want it, just like me and Brian want another one. Now it's time to go get it. Unfinished business. We got to go into Denver with a mindset of...
Okay, that's basically going to be it. But there's one thing Anthony Davis said that I agree with him. I mean, obviously everyone wants another chip or wants to get their first chip. Everyone has a main goal, obviously, and we're going to lock in, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's going to say that. But what Anthony Davis did say is togetherness. I do really like what he said about that because, the Lakers have been playing really great as a team. Austin Reeves stepped up, Vanderbilt stepped up, LeBron's still dictating the floor, and AD is playing monstrous, and he's actually healthy right now. So I think that's what's going to keep him in. I think if Anthony Davis gets injured for whatever reason playing the Nuggets, it's game over because who else is going to step up on their defense? Vanderbilt, LeBron? No. Because if you look at the Denver Nuggets offense, hell, they've been doing really good. Look at these scores. They're getting, over 100. That was their one exception versus the Suns. But, look at, 122, 120, 125. 114, 124. They're putting up strong numbers. But to be fair, does Timberwolves really have a defense? No, but they do have tall people. Do the Suns have a defense? Absolutely not. They don't even have a bench to even defend correctly. Yeah, Jokic says Nuggets are playing new team in LA. Yes, that is true, actually. I wonder... I'm going to look something up really quick. Okay, this is something you should probably look at. Jokic stepped up his game, basically 4 points in the playoffs. His rebounds are about the same. Assists went down. I think the thing about that, though, is because I think Jokic understands that he is a scorer before a passer, I think. You might disagree, but me personally, when I look at Jokic, I think he can just have that high arcing shot. and score every single fucking time. And so when he can have the ball and shoot more, I think you're more likely to win rather than him assisting the ball and taking a chance. I don't know. I think another thing you should look at, I don't know where to find it, but Jamal Murray in the playoffs is way better than he is in the regular season. And a lot of people could agree with that, actually. But no, I think there's some truth to their star player always having a higher points per game for playoffs, just because not only is it less games to look at, but there's more on the line, and it's not like every single Tuesday night versus Minnesota is going to mean something. But I think that's kind of interesting to look at. I kind of want to take a look at why he likes the Lakers in Game 1, because it is in Denver. Denver is kind of a tough place to be in. Look, they were 34-7 at home, and the Lakers were a little under 500 away, so that might actually mean a lot. And that the Nuggets have home court advantage at the thing. So let's also look at injuries really quick. What is Anthony Davis? Probable right foot stress. Feet can be tricky sometimes. Mo Bamba, I don't think really matters. I don't think that's a big deal. They have Roy, I don't even know how to say his mine, Rui Hachimura or whatever. He's been doing pretty good. What is James on? Right foot, God, I can't talk. Foot soreness. He will be good to go. I think all these injuries except Mo Bamba will be able to go. Questionable due to an illness. He'll probably play Game 1. So, see what Tyler Fulgham has to say.
Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals in Denver, and I like the Lakers plus the points. The three teams with the best home record in the NBA this season were Golden State, Memphis, and Denver. In Game 1 of their series against Memphis, LA went in and got an outright win. In Game 1 of their series against Golden State, LA went in and got an outright win. They're yet again an underdog, and I think that's a little disrespectful to LeBron and AD. I think it's a tight, close game. Maybe the Lakers steal it. Bottom line, they're catching too many points in Game 1.
That's actually a good point. The Lakers did win Game 1 in both the series. I think Denver, I don't think they're going to take this one, but I would definitely take the points. What even is the spread, by the way? 6-point favorites for Denver. Yeah, I could take the points on that. I still think Denver would win. Over under 222. I could see that going over just because I know Denver can score a lot of points, and as long as LA scores 100 maybe. Let's look at their last couple games. So yeah, so they got 122, 106, 104, 127. I think if it's a good shooting night, absolutely. I would give it the over if it was 230. But it's at 222. I think the Lakers will be an actual challenge for Denver a little bit, just because Denver had a Phoenix team that obviously has stars, but no defense and no bench. So when you have a team of the Lakers with a little bit of depth as well, I think that'll be important. Also, let's see. Whatever. All right. I also want to look at some of the highlights of maybe their last series.
That we'll see him again in this series.
As a fan, you have luxury. 3 of the top 6 scorers in the playoffs.
We'll watch a little bit of this and just kind of see how the Nuggets play a little bit.
Jamal Murray. Murray's averaging 25 points per game in the series. Fires underneath, and the layup for.
By the way, KCP was actually a great pickup. I think he's been a great fit.
The big thing with Denver, they're an excellent team moving without the ball. So from the
look at their stars really quick. So we have obviously your 2 stars, Jamal and Jokic. Aaron Gordon's really good actually in the playoffs too. I know that because when he was on the Magic, he was still good, but he's still good for Denver anyway. MPJ, I think he's a hit or miss. I think sometimes he could be an issue. I think you might have to bench him if he starts off cold. KCP, I haven't watched enough of the Nuggets to be fair, but what I've known from KCP is he can be, I think he's a starter now actually, or has been a starter all year, and he's been actually really productive.
Side of the floor, you have to be tough.
Good start for Cam Payne.
And I want to know what kind of defense the Nuggets kind of played in this game 6.
Michael Porter Jr. been feast or famine for him. He had 5 threes in game 5. Had a couple games where he scored. Here he takes it inside.
A lot of pick and rolls.
Booker misses his first shot, got knocked to the ground, thought he was fouled. Murray in transition. Leaves it for Jokic. And there's Porter with another.
Jokic's court vision too, saying 2 steps ahead of the game, it will be an X factor too. I think it sets pace.
Missed the shot and rebound Payne. We'll see Bismack Biyombo Summit Center. We'll also see Kevin Durant at the 5 some today. Nice move. 5 early points.
I want a longer play to see how Denver's playing. Okay.
Can you match the break? Can you get the easy points?
I think they're playing a 3-2 screen. Maybe. I don't know.
Booker finding Landale. Pass got deflected, but still ended up in the hands of Landale.
Let's go in a little bit.
The ball over. They have 8 assists. Jokic has 5. Kevin Durant is 0 for 5 from the floor. Working here on Christian Brown, and finally.
By the way, I think what the Nuggets were doing, especially with, I don't know, because they do have shooters. I think maybe when at least Kevin Durant and wherever Devin Booker is, or when Kevin Durant and Devin Booker aren't on the court, I think they'll typically squeeze down below and force the rest of the players to shoot. But when he's on the court, I think they'll have a man on him and then still kind of man, but like crunched in a little bit. I don't know.
For 5 from the floor.
Like, see that? They're crowding him right all in here.
Here on Christian Brown, and finally gets his first field goal and his 4th point. 4-on-1. The trailer, Jeff Green, lost the ball going for the dunk, and now Phoenix with an opportunity, and it'll be a pull-up 3.
Forcing him to shoot, but he made that shot.
First half for Cam Payne.
I want to see a little bit more offense, actually. Let's maybe go a little bit farther in.
Jokic floats it up and in. He's made 9 drive baseline.
Oh, he got
a nice find. Jokic floats it up and in. He's made 9.
If I'm defense, I would have Anthony Davis be playing the paint at all times. Always watching Jokic, because his ability to shoot in the mid-range or post up is unbelievable. And I think if you're the Lakers, you're looking at that and thinking that AD is your best defender by far, and you have to have him on him at all times. So I think whatever minutes Jokic plays, AD is going to play.
Consecutive shots. By the way, 4 turnovers by Kevin Durant. That matches how many field goals he has in the game. What a pass by Jokic.
See, you have to also watch out for that too. You have to watch for backdoor cuts. If you're watching the paint and the post, you have to watch out for the cuts.
And in one motion,
I don't know enough basketball to know to defend that necessarily, but I think that's important to see.
Here, Mark Davis, Ed Malloy.
All right, so this starting lineup, you have Austin Reeves, which I really like Austin Reeves. This is game 1, by the way, of Lakers and Warriors. D'Lo, is that Vanderbilt, number 2? And LeBron, okay. I don't know. Maybe.
Control the opening tip, and away we go. Both teams played superior defense. In round 1, Andrew Wiggins opens up the scoring here in game 1. The Lakers, hounded by Thompson. Lakers, as Coach mentioned, remaking their roster via trade.
I think that is Vanderbilt. That's just guessing. But you'll see a lot of pick and roll with Anthony Davis and LeBron. That's their bread and butter, I feel like.
Pushes. Curry picked up by Vanderbilt. Long 2 on its way and cash. Fast pace going here early. 2 of the top 4 in the league in pace. Warriors number 1 and Thompson.
By the way, I think this series is really hard for the Lakers because I think they're built to more defend inside rather than shooters. Like, I mean, Golden State, they have shooters. And when they're just making shots like that, man, that's hard to beat.
A transition tray.
Warriors, you get back and find a body. He said because you can look away and it'll be an open shot for Clay or Steph. Those 3 were a part of the Cleveland Cavaliers that played the Warriors.
Both the Lakers and Nuggets are 5-2 in their last. I don't think that really makes a difference, really. But, man, I'm kind of excited for this matchup, though. I really want to see how well the Lakers play up against Denver. Because I think Denver, I'll go more in depth later, but I know Denver has this series. Like, I think they'll make their first trip to the finals finally. Let's see why Fortenbach is running with the Nuggets.
Western Conference Finals, the pick is the Nuggets, minus 155 over the Lakers. The key here, going to be home court advantage, where the Nuggets have been fantastic this season. 34 victories during the regular season, which is in the top 3 in the NBA, top 3 in net rating, and they've been outstanding at home in the playoffs. 6-0 straight up, 5-1 against the spread, winning those games by an average of 14 points per game. LA's been good, but I think they're a little overvalued off that win against the Warriors, who I think were overvalued off that win against Sacramento. Golden State only had one scoring option. Denver had several. I like them to win the series at a price of minus 155.
That's fair. By the way, I think the Nuggets had the Lakers had a harder path up to where they are, obviously because of seeding as well. But they took down Golden State, and they also took down Memphis, both being underdogs, I believe. Yes, for both series. Nuggets, they had, Minnesota had no chance. And then Phoenix was a questionable one. That was actually, posing a challenge a little bit, but they still took care of business like it was nobody's business. So, I have Denver in this matchup. Let's take a look at the Eastern Conference. Okay, we have the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat. ESPN BPI has Boston at 97%. That is insane. That is pretty crazy. But it makes sense. I mean, the Celtics took care of business with Philly. That was a great series, by the way. Alright, I'm going to break it to you straight, Doc. But I'm a Miami Heat fan. I think they are very heavily underrated. But at the same time, the Miami Heat has, throughout the season, had horrible numbers. And that is true. But if you think about it, they whipped Milwaukee. They put them in their place. To the point where Mike Budenholzer got fired for it. I think it's pretty insane how they've made it this far. Honestly, I can't believe they made it this far. Celtics, they obviously have a home court advantage. Where was I going to go with this? Let's look at their first, the matchup maybe. Let's see here. Wow, I should have looked at this again with the Nuggets and Lakers. But anyway, look. Butler. All the highest points in all of them. 35, 25, 30, 56, 42. That is pretty crazy. Butler here still did pretty good, but not as good as this. I think here we're going to have another Butler versus Milwaukee series with Boston because, first off, I think Butler is ready for Boston. I don't remember if you saw it last year, but when they were, both teams, by the way, rematch of last year's ECF, Butler, when he lost a game-winning shot against Boston, Game 7, he was like, we're going to be in the same exact spot next year, and I'm going to be ready for it. I think he is. I don't think he likes Boston very much, to the point where he's like, I'm going to go play. I'm going to go treat him. I'm going to give him the Milwaukee treatment. You know what I mean? I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but it would make sense for me. Here we are. Okay, so game 1 in, where is it again? I forget. I know it's in Boston, but TD Garden, yes. So 8-point favorites for Boston. I think, I don't know. It's so hit or miss because either Boston beats the shit out of the Heat, or the Heat win by close numbers. Over under 210. I would take maybe slightly on the over just because I think the Heat are going to come to play. And I know it's going to be a defensive game, like on both sides, but I think it'll be more than 210. Let's see why Aaron Dolan has the Heat winning. The Heat winning?
Heat Celtics game 1, I have to take the points with the Miami Heat in this spot. They've been a covering machine so far this postseason. 8-3 against the spread. On top of that, they have the rest advantage. I also think they have the coaching edge. And by the way, they have Jimmy Butler, and they're facing a Boston
Their
squad
secret weapon.
that's not going to have as much rest. They're coming off an emotional Game 7 win. We know Jason Tatum had a 51-point performance. The team shot 47% from the field, 46% from 3. I'm not sure that's going to be sustainable in this matchup. I feel like it's way too many points for the Heat, so I have to take them and back them for this game 1.
She also has a point, by the way, of Boston being off and on with shooting. Let's see. Because... Shut up! When they won Game 7, they shot 47%, like she mentioned, which is pretty good. I want to see how they shot, or let's see, 45.5, 47. I want to see how they shot when they lost to Philly, maybe. Let's see their latest loss. So yeah, I mean, that's hard. When you're shooting 39%, 31.3, that's basically a 10% difference. I want to see if that's a common theme for like this close game. Let's see. They still shot pretty well, but in 3 they did not shoot well. I think when they shoot from 3 they do really well. But man, this is a hard series because I'm trying not to say anything biased, and some people think I'm biased. But let's take some look at the highlights. All right, this is Game 7, by the way.
Robert Williams wins the opening tip. Williams makes such a difference for this team when he's on the floor. Played very well.
Embiid double. He's going to have to put it up. Gets it to Harden. Good look for 3. Off the mark. Fight for the rebound. Marcus Smart. Bad pass stolen by Harden. And a costly turnover.
To get on the board first. As a playmaker and a scorer.
Robert Williams can't get it to go. Tipped, but taken by Brown. And being tipped right to Brown. And he banks it home. You hope so. That was several feet short. Oh, Tatum on the drive.
Here's the thing about Boston is they get scary when Jason Tatum or Jaylen Brown start going off. And I mean like not missing a 3, playing phenomenal defense, because Boston has a great defensive team overall. It's just, man, when they get hot and there's no stopping it, and it makes you feel horrible because your team is not playing that well. And they just drowned you in points.
Second consecutive elimination game for these Celtics, much like last year. Nice feed inside. Horford to Robert Williams.
And that crowned Boston, too. That seems
first three-pointer for the Sixers.
Insane.
Really struggled in that department the other night. Tatum shot short. Harden quickly ahead. Harris running Stark with Brown in pursuit. And a quick bucket. Doc Rivers talked it up and in. Jab step after jab step. The spin move, the drive, the layup. Oh,
wow.
Sweet move from Jason Tatum. And the Celtics go up by 3. Embiid goes right at Horford again. Misses that one. Brown quickly in the front court. Drives inside. Layup.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, the score is still close, but like, we all know how it ended. But when Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum just catch fire, man, there's no end of it.
Step back. Three-pointer. Got it. He's got 30 already.
I know.
Timeout Philadelphia. Elite individual defenders. It's Tatum.
Bruh. Okay, now we know why they won Game 7. But that's what's so dangerous about the Celtics is as soon as they catch fire, it does not stop. So let's look at my team real quick.
Robinson and Adebayo to jump it up. And Game 6 is underway as Miami wins the tip.
Also, really quick, before we go more into depth, I think this is going to be the X factor between the series. So the Celtics has some size to them. They have Al Horford and Robert Williams. What the Heat need to be careful about is having Bam and Kevin Love defend them. Unless they go into like a zone. I don't know. But that's going to be the X factor because I don't think those two could handle Robert Williams and Al Horford as far as an offensive standpoint. I think that Robert Williams could take care of Bam pretty well. And same goes for Kevin Love with Al Horford. I don't think Al Horford is the best defender, so I think Kevin Love will have a lot of on top of the arc threes or on the wing threes. But I think that's something to watch for in the series.
Garrett going to have to try and make something happen. Randall will fire. Back iron, no. Long rebound. Butler battles for it. Up ahead to Strus for the slam.
Bam.
Vincent circles. Miami shot the lights out against Milwaukee, but they have struggled from deep in this series. Adebayo, the spin and the flush.
Man, I love it.
Possession saved for the moment for New York. Brunson sidestepping three is good.
First off, also credit to Jalen Brunson because he was the lifeblood of New York, basically, and that's how they got as far as they did. Also, another thing that I was going to say is the thing you have to worry about Miami is even if you're up by so much, because at some point in the first quarter...
Yes, I pay with my credit card, and then Emilio sends you a check or a bank transfer.
But anyway, like at some point in the first quarter, they were down like 31-17 or something, like a big deficit at first, and it was a closeout game at home. But they fought their way back. That's why you have to be careful about the Heat, is they will keep playing until the last final buzzer stops. So that's why you can't just feel comfortable with a 10 to 15 point lead. You have to keep playing hard or else it's going to go away. And the thing about Miami is they're really good at drawing free throws. Now, some people think that it's a dirty way of playing basketball, always fooling the refs, but necessarily it's not always fooling the refs. It's just being able to draw fouls very well. Some people think it's a cheeky way to play, but I think it's a good tactic to use just because it slows down the pace if you need to, and you get a chance to get some points, and put yourself in the bonus and blah, blah, blah.
Here, Randall, a little shimmy, some power, the bucket, and the foul. Brunson, 5 to shoot. Brunson spinning, 2 to shoot. Randall's got a hoist, and hits.
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how game one's going to go. Do I really think that Boston will win the series? That's what I logically think. I for the most part, usually side with the more likely outcome. But do I believe in my Heat team? Yes, I do. I don't want to say honestly because I know there's a little bias to it. I can see a Game 7 again, rematch of last year. But we'll just have to see how it turns out, So another thing, too, is with the Heat, is they're usually hit or miss as far as, three-pointers. They've been kind of in a cold slump, the last couple games against New York, as far as three-point shooting. They've been really garbage at three-point shooting. They've had to rely on offensive rebounds, turnovers, all that kind of stuff, down to the, floor fundamentals. So I think if the Heat want to win, they have to have consistent three-point shooting and continue to win in those particular areas of rebounding, turnovers, all that kind of sorts of stuff. But the other question too is that I don't know if there's any valid source, but Tyler Hero, based on what I've heard, has been doing really well in recovery, and there's potential for him to come back. Do I think he's going to come back during this matchup? Slight chance if there's a Game 7. But I think it's more likely that if the Heat win and make it to the finals, then they would have a chance of having Tyler Hero. I wonder if there's any updates, actually. Her hand isn't shooting or dribbling yet. Has been ruled out for game 1. Okay, so he's not even shooting or dribbling yet. I'm not surprised because it's only been a month. Or only like what, like 3 weeks now since his surgery, like 2.5 weeks. Anyway, so is there a way to look at the bracket actually? Okay, cool. So here's the bracket. I'll start with what I'd like to see. What I'd obviously like to see is I'd like to see the Heat win it. And I'd also like to see the Lakers win it. Reason why is because, one, I want vengeance from the bubble, the Mickey Mouse ring that the Lakers got. I want revenge on that because that broke my soul. And I'd love to see a rematch. On the other spectrum, I'd also like to see my Heat win and see the Nuggets win. Because most people I know are Nuggets fans, and I'm a Heat fan. And just when you get a chance to have your team versus your best buddies' teams in the finals, like championship, win it all, go big, go home. That would be amazing to see. That rarely happens in life itself. But one last thing I'd like to see also is I'd like to see how the Celtics and the Nuggets play up in a finals, get like a 7-game series. I would love to see how that would turn out because those are, I think, the most complete teams on both sides of the spectrum actually. And just for them to go the head-to-head, that would be great to see too. But here's what I largely think is going to happen. I think Heat and Celtics are going to go game 6. I think game 7, if the Heat have decent three-point shooting, I think it'll be game 7. And there's also based on how bad Jimmy wants to play, or like want it, like win and beat the Celtics because they lost on his shot last year. If that's the case, Heat in 7. But if not, like if all those factors don't come in fruition, I have Celtics. Now as far as Nuggets and Lakers, if Lakers don't play like they did in the bubble against the Nuggets, which I'm curious about, I won't go that deep into the video, but I'm gonna do it for myself. It's kind of rewatch those highlights in the bubble and see how they defended the Nuggets and see if that's the case in this series as well. If that's the case, because the Lakers basically won on an Anthony Davis 3 in that series in game 7, basically. When they were up 3-1, the Nuggets were coming back, I believe. I don't remember. But if the Lakers play lights out, offense is unstoppable, and AD finds a way to slow down Jokic, I could see the Lakers. Don't sue me, but that's just what I see. If none of that happens, I see the Nuggets winning it. Now, if that's the case, it would be my third option for what I want to see in the finals is Celtics and Nuggets. How they match up, I honestly have no idea, so I couldn't tell you who would win that. I honestly don't know. If you see a game 7 against Philly Celtics versus the Nuggets, then yes, I think they could win in 6-7 games. But if you see the Nuggets take care of business like they did the Suns, because I think the Celtics are a better team than the Suns, I could see the Nuggets in 7. So I think that's a logical thing. I think Celtics either in 6 or 7, or Nuggets in just straight up 7. And the Nuggets will have home court advantage, by the way, if that's the case. But if we go Heat Nuggets finals, I'd see Nuggets in 6, to be completely honest with you. Just because I don't think we have the Heat have the size to pair up against the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are a more put together team rather than the Heat. I think the Heat have a good core around their team and they're going to play hard and they'll out hustle you. But based on the Nuggets just having a better team overall and being able to play better, I think that might overpower the Heat's ability to hustle you and grind. And who knows? I think the Heat would have a little bit of a coaching edge over Mike Malone. Now, the other possibility, too, is Celtics and Lakers in the finals. I think that's less likely. But that would be kind of cool to see, like, this decorated organizations kind of go up against each other again. I don't know. And here's what's going to happen. Celtics in 6 or 7. Nuggets in 6 or 7. And in the finals, Boston 6 or 7 or Nuggets in 7. So comment on what you think I am kind of going for, or if you agree with me, or what you don't agree. I'd rather hear what you don't agree with me rather than what you agree with me, so I could learn. But I'm gonna put this video here. I hope you enjoyed. I wish I could be more articulate and talk about more in depth and understand a little bit more, but I think I did a good job doing a little bit of an overview of what the Final Four, what we have. So I'm rooting for the Heat. I don't care who comes out, Nuggets or Lakers, but we'll see. And maybe I'll do a finals preview once I see after these ECFs. Let me know if you'd like to see that. Other than that, have a good rest of your day. Fuck you. Bye.